Tati Westbrook just reached for the most dangerous metaphor in beauty YouTube. On a July TikTok Live, she said she could talk for days, weeks, even months, and described the urge to speak as wanting to burn the whole house down. That sounds like a threat to reopen Dramageddon. It is not a new expose. Tati did not reveal receipts in that passage, and she did not name Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, or James Charles. But the line hit because it echoes a promise she made 6 years ago, a promise that was never publicly completed.
And the pieces of what we believe actually happened are coming together. Make no mistake, this is far from over.
That was Tati in June 2020 after the biggest friendship collapse the beauty world had ever watched. She said evidence had been accumulated and that a day would come when it could be presented. 6 years later, viewers are hearing a new version of the same suspense. There is supposedly more to say, enough to stretch across months, and saying it could destroy the whole structure. So the real question is not simply who is she talking about, it is whether this tease points to genuinely new information, or whether Dramageddon has become an endlessly renewable cliffhanger. To understand why 4 words can restart this story, go back to May 2019. Tati uploaded "Bye Sister," ending her friendship with James Charles in public. The conflict included his Sugar Bear hair promotion, her belief that he had disrespected her and her supplement company, and serious claims about his conduct toward men. The video detonated. James lost millions of subscribers over the following days, while Tati gained millions. Subscriber counters became spectator sport. A private relationship had turned into a live public verdict before the accused person had released a full response.
The situation, and it is very important to me that this video has all the information, all the facts, all the receipts, and is current and present because I will not be addressing it again.
James answered with "No more lies," a 41-minute rebuttal built around messages, timelines, and direct denials. He disputed the idea that his Coachella Sugar Bear hair promotion had been planned in advance, said he had repeatedly tried to contact Tati privately, and rejected the most serious characterization of his behavior. The important point here is not that one response magically settled every accusation. It is that the public certainty changed the moment the audience saw a second timeline. Dramageddon's first lesson was brutal. A compelling first video can feel like proof long before the counter story arrives.
This whole situation was definitely not a big scheme that was orchestrated beforehand. It really did happen on the spot. The Sugar Bear hair team texted me the proposal right away.
Then the story changed again. In June 2020, Tati returned with "Breaking My Silence." She apologized to James for her role and said Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star had fed her claims, frightened her, and pushed her toward publishing "Bye Sister." That was Tati's account, not a court finding. It also did not erase her agency. She was the person who recorded, titled, and uploaded the video. But the new accusation moved the center of the scandal away from a broken friendship and toward a possible influence campaign behind the scenes.
Over a year of my life terrified of social media and terrified of speaking up against the people that used, coerced, and manipulated me into uploading my video.
Tati said her guard had been down, that she believed information presented to her as evidence, and that she allowed herself to be worked by Shane and Jeffree. Notice the tension in that language. It describes manipulation, but it also admits a decision. That tension is exactly why a fresh "burn it down" tease creates such a volatile audience reaction. If Tati has more proof, it could clarify who supplied what and when. But any full account would also have to explain what she verified before publishing allegations to millions of people.
Yes, I'm a grown woman. I'm smart. I can usually spot deceit and manipulation a mile away, but my guard was down from being heartbroken, and I allowed myself to be worked by Shane.
Shane's response was immediate and emotional. While Tati's video played, he went live and called her manipulative and her crying fake. It was not a careful point-by-point rebuttal. It was a real-time eruption. That reaction became part of the evidence viewers used to judge him, even though anger is not proof of guilt. It also made the scandal feel less like old history and more like an active war between people who had once collaborated, promoted each other, and made millions inside the same attention economy.
Blogger.
Oh my God. You are so manipulative. You're fake crying. You are fake crying. You are fake crying. That is not real.
Jeffree eventually released Doing What's Right. He apologized to James for his words and actions, admitted he had become caught up in the hype, and said he should have called James directly. But he did not validate Tati's full account of being manipulated. His apology was narrower. He accepted responsibility for his own participation and then said the subject would not be discussed again. In other words, the central parties produced overlapping admissions without ever producing one shared version of events.
Did I do dumb shit, and did I not just simply call James Charles and ask questions myself? 100%. And that is my fault. I would like to personally apologize to James Charles for the words that I've
This is the Unresolved Core. Tati's new line has reopened. In 2020, she said there was accumulated evidence, that legal advice limited what she could share, and that a future day would reveal why she believed Jeffree and Shane were responsible for so much damage. Publicly, that complete evidence package never arrived. There were statements, reactions, apologies, and years of commentary, but no single release that resolved the promised receipts. The cliffhanger stayed frozen in place.
Safety. On the advice of my attorneys, I cannot share with all of you right now the evidence that we have accumulated of the events that have occurred. However, there will soon come a day where we will be able
Now place the July 2026 live beside that sentence. Days, weeks, months suggest scale. Burn the whole house down suggests collateral damage. Yet the new passage, as publicly reported, still does not identify a target or establish what the material is. It could mean old messages, business history, friendships, lawsuits, private conversations, or simply years of bottled up commentary. Naming Jeffree or Shane in a title is understandable because Tati's 2020 statement put them at the center of the unresolved chapter. Claiming she targeted them again would go beyond what she actually said. There is also a business reason this moment matters. Tati is active again across YouTube and TikTok, making beauty videos, selling products, and rebuilding a direct relationship with an audience that remembers her peak. Jeffree is active too, with a cosmetics business and a constant stream of product content. A revived Dramageddon story instantly reconnects both names to the era when beauty commentary could move millions of subscribers overnight. That makes the tease commercially powerful even before a single receipt appears. Attention is already the first product.
I would just like to say that James Charles, I'm very sorry. Anything else that you guys want to know, it will never be spoken about. You can ask other people.
So what would count as real news now? First, specific claims rather than atmosphere. Second, complete messages with dates and surrounding context rather than cropped fragments. Third, a clear separation between what Tati personally witnessed, what somebody told her, and what she inferred. Fourth, meaningful responses from anyone accused. And finally, an explanation of her own decision-making in 2019. Without those pieces, Burn It Down is gripping packaging, but it is not evidence. The fairest reading is also the most dramatic. Tati may genuinely possess a much larger story, but the public currently has another promise of a story, not the story itself. Jeffree's apology confirms he participated in the chaos. Shane's reaction confirms the accusation hit a nerve. James's response proves the original narrative was contestable. None of those facts tells us what, if anything, sits in Tati's current archive.
agents. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the truth. I'm sorry I was unable to provide you with receipts that I'm sure you want. I've told you everything that I can.
Our verdict. The July Live reopened Dramageddon, but it did not solve it. Tati's language is explosive because it revives an unfulfilled promise from 2020. Until she releases verifiable material, the responsible headline is that she teased a reckoning, not that she exposed Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, or James Charles. If she does finally speak, the standard should be higher than it was in 2019. Context before conclusions, responses before verdicts, and no more asking millions of viewers to decide a case from the first upload. Would you watch a full Tati series if she released it? And after 6 years, what proof would she need to show before you believed the house was really burning?